everybody. Today I'm going to be hooking up a set of these, and what these are is a wireless bridge. Here's the paperwork for it, and the brand UeeVee or something like that. I'm not even sure how you pronounce that, but that's the best I can come up with. UeeVee. But anyway, this is basically, you have two of these. One I have already mounted onto a pole with a couple of hose clamps. Should work just fine. And what you do is you'll set these. One will be your transmitter and one will be your receiver. Or it's set, on the back here. They come already set up in the package, ready to go. You don't have to go in and configure anything. You just pull them out, hook them up, and you're good to go. But if you wanted to configure them yourself, okay, you got two modes. A is a receiver, B is a transmitter. And you cannot see the A and B through the camera, I don't think, but this one says A and this says B, so this is your receiver. And over here you have a reset button, and also this is your channel mode. So when you do hook it up, you have to make sure that you hook it up, both of them, on the same channel. They come on, I think, channel 1 or A, but I would suggest changing it. I changed mine, but okay. There are a few videos showing how to set these up, but there's a couple of things that people don't show, and one thing that I've not seen anybody try, and I want to try it because I want more versatility. Now, the main reason for this is it's supposed to be able to extend your Wi-Fi range by like 1.5 miles or something. I think it says like 3 miles straight line, but you know, maybe in perfectly flat country where you can see 3 miles and you get these up high enough that they are actually facing each other perfectly, you would probably just be on the edge of it. I don't see it really working like that practically, but what most people I have seen use these for is, like, let's say they live across the street from their business and they want to either send their business internet over to their house or their house internet over to their business. You can't run wires across the road, of course, so you would set one of these up on your house, the other one on your business, and it would just beam the internet between the two, and it does work pretty well. Now, what I saw everyone do, these come with a power over Ethernet plug. This is a transformer with Ethernet plugs in it, and what you would do is, now I will do it with the transmitter, but the receiver I won't. So you got the two plugs coming out here. One of them, this one, will go to your router. Plug in the back of it into one of your slots in the back of the router. This is your power over Ethernet. Probably can't see that, but this is your power over Ethernet cable. This one will go into this, and you can hook it up to, I suppose, either one, and that will provide power from this to the unit. Now that is exactly how I will be setting up this one. It will just have a extra long, I have a 75-foot cable, but everything else is the same. But this one I'm not going to hook up through power over Ethernet, because I want this to be more versatile. Now in my case, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to set this up and leave it a little loose. I've got a little bracket up here on the side of the house. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to set it up to where I can leave it just loose enough that it will hold, but if I put pressure on it turning it, I can turn it and aim it. And what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to have it to where I can aim it like up toward the cabin if I'm going to be up at the cabin, or if I'm up doing some work up at the graveyard or something like that, and I want to have like my phone with me streaming a podcast or an audio book or something like that. I can have good internet up at the graveyard, at the cabin, anywhere on the place. In order to get it to where I can get a better signal, I have to get this one up pretty high, because we have a lot of trees around here and it's all hills. We're not going to get miles of range around here, but I expect maybe to be able to get 600-700 feet or something like that. But see, I want to be able to do that without having to have this mounted somewhere with power over Ethernet going to it, coming out of that plug and into a router, and then set the Wi-Fi up on the router and connect my phone to it. I don't want to do all that. Okay, and you don't have to with these. I've never seen anybody do this, but I know it can be done. In the back, right here, you can see there is a jack, and this jack is for the voltage for this unit is from around 9 volts to 24 volts. As long as you put something in that range into this, it will work. Now, closer to 24 volts would probably give you a little bit more power. Now, this is a plug that I had laying around. I am not sure what type of plug this is. It was one I had laying around, so you may have to research. I tried looking it up, and I couldn't find anything on it. But you can see it is pretty much a standard plug. You may be able to get a universal plug end. If I do find the exact one, I'll put a link to it below. But okay, this plugs in perfectly to there, and I also have one that will plug into the cigarette lighter in a car that plugs in perfectly too. But I wanted this even more versatile than that. I don't want to have a vehicle with me. So I've got a little rechargeable battery for this is for the leaf blower. And you have your little negative on this side, positive on this side. Just check your battery. They're all different, but I just took a couple of these little spade connectors, put on the end of the wires, and it is now on. You can see the green lighting up right there. It's not getting a signal because the other one is not even plugged in yet. But okay, once this boots up, I will show you the channels. Okay, I think that's 6 that it's on. And it's either 6 or B. I can't remember. I got them both set to the same thing. I've already tried it out. It does work. Now, this right here, you can tape or you take a hose clamp, probably be better, and just hose clamp this to the back of it, and you can just walk around with this. And if you want to get your internet, you can just hook directly to this. Now, that is one other thing that people gloss over, and I don't know if they don't know it or they're just not planning on using it like that. But no one ever talks about the Wi-Fi connection that comes straight from this. No router, just this. You don't have to run this out into a router and then have the router put out your Wi-Fi signal. This comes set up already having Wi-Fi. Now, without that one working yet, it probably won't have it. But let's set up this pole and we'll plug that into our router and see what we got. All right, so you can see it way up there. It is hooked up. I've got it plugged into the router and everything. The wire is just kind of laying around the house. I still have to staple it up and all that. But I'll probably actually take it loose there and just run it straight over to the house, and that'll actually give me a little bit more room. But anyway, the point is, it's all hooked up and ready to go. If you can kind of see it. Get my shadow over it here a little bit, maybe you can see it. Okay, you can see it's showing full signal. Okay, so you can see there is nothing else hooked in but a drill battery. And I am hooked to it with my phone. Okay, CPE, 5G, and a bunch of numbers. Okay, it is connected to it. Now, one thing that no one shows is the way that you get your password. Because when you do go to log in on it, it asks you for your password. So in the user's manual, you will go, it's toward the end, and you can go in and you can change this. I really haven't. I'm up here. I live what they call in the head of the holler around here. I live in, no one is anywhere around me. So I'm not going to have anybody stealing my internet. So I don't have to worry about changing my password. If I lived in a city, yes, I would definitely go in and change it. Or if I lived close to anybody. I'm way away from everybody. So, okay. You just go through and you can find what your channel is over here. It tells your IP address and what the channel is, the frequency on the 5.8 gigahertz scale. And here is the network name. They are different for different channels. And then the passwords are different for different channels. You can get internet wherever you need it without having to have a router and all that. Now, let's go up to the cabin and see if we have any signal up there. I never get signal from the house, or if I do, I may be able to faintly pick it up, but it's never enough to use. Let's see what we got up there now. Okay, so I'm up at the cabin. And I have my little Wi-Fi extender here. And we are about probably 500 feet from the house. Maybe 400, I think. You know, I've never really measured it, but I think it's about 500 feet. And ordinarily, if I did get any kind of signal from the internet or from our internet, it would be unusable. Now, I am only reading this and the Osmo Action Cam, which is you all. I am not even picking up the house internet, but I am picking up this. I have, of course, full signal because I'm pretty much touching it. But now we are 500 feet. There's a couple of trees and stuff. It's not too bad. There's a few trees between us. Let's see. Let's just do us a little. I did a speed test down there, and that was the results. 72 down, 79 up, almost 73 down. Okay, let's do another test. Let me hold this up where it's actually pointing at it. It has dropped some of the signal, but well, maybe I just wasn't pointing it at it good enough. That is very, very usable. I would say, I would say if you have, like, for stuff like I like to do, you know, I might, if I'm out working on something and I want to look something up, you know, just looking something up on the internet, this would be plenty of internet. Actually, this would be plenty to actually, yeah. It should be able to handle multiple devices, streaming HD videos at the same time. So, yeah, this would be very, very usable all the way up here. Okay. Well, since it works to there, let's just take us a little walk. We'll go another, let's go another 500 feet. All right, well, the camera might sound a little, or the microphone might sound a little different. I'm using the onboard microphone of the camera because I'm in the middle of the woods and I didn't want to carry a tripod and microphone and all that all through the woods. So, how good does it work? We are probably, I would say y'all probably cannot even see. I don't know if you can see the cabin, let alone the house. We are a good, I'd say we're a good 1,500 foot from the house. And I'm getting right now 16 megabytes per second download, 46.8 upload, and the internet connection is very fast. Okay, that is with, you can see that it is still connected to the Wi-Fi on this thing. So I say that is pretty good. Even in the middle of the woods here, I can sit and watch high definition video on several different devices at the same time, and that's just using this device with a drill battery hooked to it. I think that's a pretty successful test. It works pretty well. So yeah, anytime that I'm out working around the yard or anything, I'm sure this will work down to my garage. It's only probably 150 feet away from the house. So when I'm working in my garage, I'll just reach and spin that little antenna around so it'll face the garage. If I got to look something up, it's right there. Pretty good internet. One thing, I think if you had like a some kind of stand to sit this on, so that it can, because it kind of needs, for best internet, it needs to be pointing at the other one. It will still work if it's off a little, but the closer you can get it pointed towards the other antenna, the better signal that you're going to get. So I would say at this rate, I could probably go a couple of thousand feet at least and still have fairly good internet. Of course, it is dropping because I'm getting pretty far away from that, and it does have some latency from here to there, but it's not bad. So anyway, that was my little experiment. All right, so that is my little portable internet setup. I don't know really how far you can get away, and actually if you were in flat country, I would say you could go easily a mile like this and still have internet. That would come in handy for like a hunter or something like that on a place where there's no cell phone service, because you never know, just in case. You could set this up if you had some kind of an emergency. You could set this up and you could contact somebody if you were injured or something like that. And I think that would be a very good use case for this, because from what I've seen, most of the time the places that you go out hunting and stuff like that, there's not going to be very much signal, and it's going to be if anything happens, you could be in real trouble. Now this right here could solve that if you're hunting close to an area where you can get, you know, within a mile of an area where you can get some internet. I guess that's going to be about it for this little video. Appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.